to violence. He alleged that though masquerading as an unbiased and concerned elder statesman, former President Obasanjo is in reality a known partisan who is bent on thwarting by subterfuge the choice of millions of Nigerian voters. The minister expressed shock and disbelief that a former president could throw around unverified claims and amplify wealth allegations picked up from the street against the electoral process. The National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, has warned broadcasters covering and reporting the 2023 elections against violating the provision of the extant electoral laws and broadcasting code. The Director General of NBC, Malam Balarabi Ilela, issued the warning in a statement in Abuja. Ilela said that the Commission had observed that some guests on broadcast stations were making volatile allusions capable of causing unrest in the country. He therefore enjoined all broadcasters to desist from using or allowing their platforms and facilities to be used for the broadcast of contents that may lead to the breakdown of law and order. The NBC boss also warned that appropriate sanctions would be meted out to any airing station that operates outside the confines of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code. He also emphasized the need for broadcasters to perform the role of peace agents by adhering to the principles of responsibility, accuracy, and neutrality. On sports, with 150 days until the start of the 2022-2023 World University Games in Chengdu, China, Nigeria is preparing to send 100 of her best athletes to the competition scheduled to hold from July 27th to August 8th. Mohammed Sani Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
Chidibere Ezeni, Acting Secretary General of the Nigeria University Games Nuga, said it is a great opportunity for Nigerian students to showcase their talent on a global stage and to bring glory to the nation. The 2023 edition of the event has been confirmed for Chengdu, China, and is expected to attract over 10,000 participants from more than 170 countries. Nigeria is expected to compete for honors in 7 disciplines, including track and field, swimming, badminton, judo, taekwondo, table tennis, and tennis. Meanwhile, Abel Oguche will take the place of Captain Daniel Bamei in the Flying Eagles line-up for the quarter-final clash against the Hippos of Uganda on Thursday at the Suez Canal Stadium, Ismailia. Bamei is suspended for the encounter after picking up his second yellow card of the competition in Flying Eagles 2-0 win against Mozambique last Saturday. A win in the game will see the Flying Eagles book a spot at the 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup to be hosted by Indonesia. In another development, Nigeria Premier Football League Kwara United have officially unveiled former Wiki Tourist manager Kabiru Dogo as its new head coach. Similarly, former Super Eagles coach Ghana Draw has signed a 3-year deal with the Benin Football Association. Rowe takes over from Musa Letonji, who had been the team's caretaker coach since Frenchman Michael Dosea was sacked after Benin failed to qualify for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations and 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Benin Republic became the 5th African team the Franco-German will coach after Gabon, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Nigeria. In another update, Australia captain David Alaba says it was a team decision for him to vote for Lionel Messi over his own Real Madrid teammate Karim Benzema as main player of the year at the Best FIFA Awards. Alaba received abuse on social media for not choosing Benzema. Argentina and the Paris Saint-Germain forward Messi won the award last night ahead of France forward Kylian Mbappe and Benzema. And on tennis, Britain Heather Watson reached the second round of the Texas Open with a 7-6, 7-2, 6-4 win over Denka Kovinic. Muhammad Sani Uba, Freedom Radio.
The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com, or call us through this number, 082444163. Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The Independent National Electoral Commission in Zamfara State has declared the state's central senatorial zone, Gusau, Safi, and Gumi Bukuyum elections inconclusive. In Zamfara Central Senatorial Zone, PDP's Aliyu Ikra Bilbis is leading Kabiru Marafa. Bilbis got 93,120 votes, while Marafa scored 79,444 votes. About 57,701 votes were cancelled in polling units in Gusau and Maru local government areas. However, the presidential candidate of APC Bola Tinubu has defeated Atiku Abubakar of People's Democratic Party after he polled 298,396 against Atiku's 193,978. For tomorrow's weather forecast in some cities in Nigeria and parts of Niger Republic, here's the report.
Kano tomorrow morning is expected to have clear sky and light wind at an average temperature of 21 degrees Celsius. A later change to sunny and light winds at 17 degrees Celsius. Kaduna will experience similar weather condition at an average temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. A later increase to 26 degrees Celsius. Katsina will experience partly cloudy sky and light wind at 23 degrees Celsius. A later give way to sunny and light wind at 27 degrees Celsius. Abuja will experience clear sky and gentle breeze at 25 degrees Celsius. A later increase to 28 degrees Celsius. Lagos will experience partly cloudy sky and light wind at 21 degrees Celsius. A later turn to sunny interval and light wind at 28 degrees Celsius. Maradi and Zindar in Niger Republic will experience partly cloudy sky and gentle breeze at 22 degrees Celsius. A later give way to sunny interval and light wind at 27 degrees Celsius. Omulkar Abakar Ungogo Freedom Radio.
On business, despite post-election uncertainties, investors yesterday renewed stakes in stocks with impressive earnings and dividend payout ahead of the 2022 full-year scorecards as market capitalization of the NGX hits 30 trillion naira. Specifically, investors gained 207 billion naira yesterday as market capitalization increased to 30.140 trillion naira from 29.93 trillion naira recorded on Friday. Also, market capitalization rose by 379.21 or 0.7% from 54,949.21 points to 55,328.42 points. The upturn was impacted by gains recorded in medium and large capitalized stocks, amongst which are Geregu Power, Con Oil, Bua Foods, Stanbic IBTC Holdings, and MRS Oil Nigeria. Meanwhile, the adoption of mobile technology continues to grow in Nigeria, with the total number of mobile subscriptions hitting 225.88 million in January 2023. This is 3.66 million more mobile subscriptions than the 222.23 million subscriptions that were recorded in December 2022. It also continues the sustained growth the mobile technology sector of Nigeria has been experiencing since the turn of 2022. According to new industry data from the Nigerian Communications Commission, teledensity, the number of active telephones per 100 people living within an area grew to 118.51%. And on the foreign scene, French President Emmanuel Macron has unveiled France's new Africa strategy, which will see a reduction in its troops on the continent as more local forces co-run its bases. Muhammad Abdulkarim reports.
It comes just weeks after Russia promised more military support and training for countries across West Africa. Mr. Macron announced the new strategy ahead of four-nation Africa visit as more global powers vie for influence on the continent. President Macron described French military bases in Africa as a heritage from the past. French forces, who had been fighting against militants in the region for more than a decade, pulled out of Mali last year after the country invited in the Wana group. French troops were also asked to leave Burkina Faso in January amid a growing anti-France sentiment. Mr. Macron's newly unveiled strategy is meant to redefine France's relationship with Africa as competition from Russia and China grows. Meanwhile, the White House has given federal agencies 30 days to forge Chinese-owned video snippet sharing app TikTok from all government-issued devices, setting a deadline to comply with a ban ordered by the U.S. Congress. Office of Management and Budget Director Shalanda Young In a memorandum, called on government agencies within 30 days to remove and disallow installation of the application on agency-owned or operated IT devices and to prohibit internet traffic from such devices to the app. The ban does not apply to businesses in the United States not associated with the federal government or to the millions of private citizens who use the hugely popular app. Abdul Karim Muhammad Abdul Karim, Freedom Radio.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's Global News. But before we leave, highlights of our top stories. As Nigerians await the declaration of the winner of the presidential poll, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, has warned against any action that could truncate democratic rule in the country. The National Broadcasting Commission has warned broadcasters covering and reporting the 2023 elections against violating the provision of the extant electoral laws and broadcasting code. The Independent National Electoral Commission in Zamfara State has declared the state's central senatorial zone, Gusau and Gumi, elections inconclusive. And on the foreign scene, French President Emmanuel Macron has unveiled France's new Africa strategy, which will see a reduction in its troops on the continent as more local forces co-run its bases. On behalf of the entire production team and I, Zara Zenna, thank you for listening.